Okay, on this action, I think we can play here. So don't be shy about it. We have our center backs opened up. They're really only showing one player here at the top. These other players are turning around running. So, bait him in, fake the pass out here with your right foot and come here or here, the opposite way with your left. I think we have enough room to play here. We have 3v1, 4v2, including you, plus one here. This ball's on into space and we can get out. So put the ball down and play this ball safe side into space right here. We're good to go. Okay, so just another goal kick playing out of the back. But we have both sides sort of opening up here, but really their numbers are to the left side. So this is kind of the same case as the previous clip where I think the opportunity to play out this side where they have less numbers is the better option, all things being equal. Because of their numbers floating to this side, we're 2-3v1 here. So we come in and that's going to force an immediate pressure pocket. They have numbers here. He's already cutting off this side of the field now, and they have more numbers. So we're basically going to end up, here's the immediate pressure after he's done his job. We end up playing long. Okay, so we're going to turn the ball over here, and I like how your body shape when you're retreating, okay? You're staying forward. Look at that chin forward. But I want you to be careful because there's two runners that this player could slip the ball in. So we don't want to necessarily drop all the way back to our line in case that ball gets slipped through. You kind of want to hedge your bets because now if his touch is away from goal and it looks like he can chip you, then that's one thing. But we want to be aware of the spacing behind as well. But you do really well with your body shape, your timing. Okay, your timing could be a little bit better to get to this shape here, this set position. But I think you dropped in a little bit too deep. Now here's the other piece to this. All right, we get on the rebound, and this is where I want you to learn how to manipulate a little bit more. Okay, so we want to come out here where there's numbers, and you recognize this. But can we pump fake here to draw him in? Okay, the same result. You kind of really sell this pass here, but play into this space here. Okay, we want to manipulate this player to bite and then play this player. That's how we get out here a lot easier, because what happens is he's going to round it. And yes, we get through, but if they're pressing together here, it's going to be trouble for us when we can just play out in this space first time, and that kind of cuts out more of their players. Okay, so little details here, but we knew this drop ball was coming from the injured player 30-40 seconds ago. So can we get our other center back to open up here, get our outside back higher, and can you receive this pass where there is more space here, where your center back is even further? So our spacing is you're here, your other center back's here, your outside back's here. All right. Instead, he's doing your job, and now that allows this player to take an angle, and everybody's set where you could have received this ball played in, and we would have been out. But now they have time with the spacing to get across the field, and now they're playing back across. Okay, this is helping our defenders recognize a cue. As this ball pops free, this player's body language is going to be to send the ball long, right? So we're holding a high line, you're in behind. Now, the factors of commanding the area behind, one of those factors is the height of this clearance, right? Versus driven in the air. And I think here we can help our defenders early drop, right? We need to be commanding them to drop into this space behind as that cue happens, right? And obviously our footwork here to get back in behind is not great, but this ball is popped up to the point where when it bounces, it's not going to bounce through to you. So I think probably the best thing to do here is to continue to drop into the space because it's holding up. We have defensive help, okay? So I don't think we have to rush in. You can see the distance from you to the ball, and the players nearest to the ball, they are closer. Okay, and it's all because of the flight of that ball, the trajectory. So it's also kind of going away from goal. So we're caught in no man's land here. And you can see we have defensive help still. So by you actually coming here and creating this confrontation, it actually becomes easier for a player who wouldn't have as much time to slip it by you to slip it by you. Okay, you do well with the stab at it with your foot and we clear it, but all of that could have been avoided pretty easily. Okay, so I really want to commend you here for fantastic patience, timing. It looks like we're holding a decent line, which allows you to get to the ball rather than dropping in early and allowing you or not allowing you to have the space that you need. So the ball's on its way. You're patient. You're reading it. You're not jumping early, and then you do really well with it. The only thing I'd say is, can we come through it with our left knee up, right? Coming back through the ball line. And you're kind of jumping off 2 feet there. But that's the absolute high point of that ball. You do a great job with it. I like how you run out here looking to spring somebody. Okay, we don't like what we see, so you slow us down. But absolutely great take. Okay, so harping back to the first couple clips of when we had goal kicks playing out of the back, this time, obviously, you do a good job of recognizing where their numbers are defensively, where the space is for us. Now, the one nitpicky thing I'll get with you is the pace and where this ball is placed, right? So right here we have space. There's nobody pressing. He has their back to his own or to our goal, right? So really this ball can be played out with some decent pace in and ahead of this player. There's nobody pressing. So look how long he has to wait for it. And those seconds matter, right? Like those fractions of seconds matter because these players are able to come over. Whereas if you play him out into space for him to run onto, okay, we can go. So it's a little detail, but it matters. Okay, I want to show the good as well. I know we always, when we watch video, it seems to be a lot of negative stuff, which is not the case. It's just we're trying to improve our game, right? But the angle of support could have been better initially because then it forced you to take a touch that was sort of in front of you. But the confidence to play this ball under pressure over a defender with a player coming on, safe side of this player so that it's not leading them into this player, but it's on top of them so they can take a good touch and we can get out. It's a fantastic ball. I think your body language is pretty good here, right? What I'm going to do, let me just back this up, okay? So you can see you're leaning forward. You're really trying to command this area. You're not worried about the ball over the top of you, but you're sinking in while leaning forward. So I think you're recognizing the cues here and what's dangerous. Okay, so now it comes down to a little bit more decision making. This ball is going to get played through the two defenders. Which, as we look at this on film, maybe we want our defender to run more inside and allow the ball to go outside of him, right? Instead of get split. But we have to, when we make a decision to go here outside of our goal post, we want to be able to either win the ball outright or alter the play. And the other factors are do we have defensive help or not? So I think from this angle, going well away from goal, I think we need to just hold our ground and prepare for our defenders to recover any cutback balls, because this, once again, getting sucked out, a lot of times we get beat and it makes the decision for the striker easier, right? When they know their only out is to play the ball by the goalkeeper, when we could have had defensive help. So the thing I like is, I don't think it's the right decision, but what I love about it is you don't hesitate and you stay big. And you close down well and you keep a very good shape and you keep your core behind and you're very brave. So that's fantastic stuff. Ultimately, sometimes it doesn't matter how we get the job done as long as you do it 100%, right? So it's the wrong decision in my book, but it's the right decision to go and not hesitate. So very well done. Okay, so nothing comes of this, but it's a really nitpicky thing. As this ball gets played wide after a couple turnovers, they're going to get to it. Now we have defensive pressure. Okay, so clearly this is a crossing opportunity. And as deep and wide as this player is with defensive help and on their right foot, I think we sink into our goal line a little bit too far, okay? Because I think what they have to do is cut the ball back further, and it's an outswinger. So see how you kind of take that step back as this player's going towards the sideline. I actually want you to go the opposite way. Okay, so take a step forward. Be more aggressive in these spaces where if he were to get off a decent cross, that's where it's coming to, this near post area to the central part. Look, he's still going away, and we kind of flatten out here. So I think we're behind this this line, this 45-degree line we talk about from post to middle. I think you're behind it now, whereas I think you should be even one step ahead of it. So he goes to cross it. We have help. You should be a little bit, I should be able to see you ahead of this defensive player, able to attack easier in this space, not backing up and giving up on this space. Another goal kick playing out of the back. They have one pressing high. They have three kind of sitting in behind, sort of baiting. I don't mind how this action starts. Okay, obviously we'd like for the player to be on the ball heading towards committing this defender rather than having to run wide to get to the ball. So that's kind of where we first get into trouble a little bit here. And also this player's not ready to open up early. Okay, so they're kind of just standing. They should be wider, opening up more of a space and a gap to play through. But because of that, you can see this pressure pocket coming across. I'd like to see you get over earlier, and you sort of realize this ball's you should be here already, and there's no reason for this player to run into you. Okay, space is what kills, right? So this player shouldn't be sprinting towards you yet, because I think we're fine here. Okay, but see how you kind of recognize now I've got to get over. Now this player is eating up all of your space, okay? Look at this. This is not the ideal shape we want building out. Okay, so now this player is able to stay in between these two players. Okay, and that makes his job a lot easier. Where now we start to open up, but our body's not facing the field, so he's just waiting for you to play that ball to tee off. But we want him here so that he's thinking, I've got to commit to this early, and then we can play over the top to this player. Okay? Because you don't bait him in and he's able to stay, and we don't have good spacing here, that ball, he immediately is able to tee off on. When really we should have been able to play over the top and get out down this line. Okay, so now we're in trouble. Right now this should be like, oh, you know what mode, where we're pulling this player back in, pulling this player back in. We get away with one here. This should be in the back of our net. Okay, right there. That should be in the back of the net. If we go back, once again, this player stays wide. He's either going to go or stay. But either way, this player's got better spacing if you do play his feet. And if he goes, you can play that ball over the top. So we get away with one. Boom. Okay, as most goals happen, a lot goes wrong. Okay, so first thing is we have ample time before this ball is set down by the referee to find a better shape. And one side of our line holding acts like they know what's going on, and the side that the ball is closest to, ball side, acts like they have no idea. That's where we need to be a little bit more connected. I'm not privy to the audio here, but I'd imagine you'd want to be screaming at these players to drop in, reading the cue. Okay, so referee sets the ball down and we immediately play here. Now look, he's still standing still. These players are starting to kind of open up and drop in. When he hits it, we're backpedaling. So half of our line is back 3 yards and the other half of our back line is up. And really we should be giving ourselves room here. Easy cue to read. And we get beat, just flat out, plain and simple. Like this should never happen. Right, so obviously you know better as to what happened from a communication standpoint there. But now, okay, it's a crossing scenario. We should be fine here. We're 2v2 at the back. We're 2v1 defensively. But we just need to make sure. I want to see your head turn and organize as we come in. This player takes a touch away from goal. That's our cue to step a little bit more into this space. Once again, like we talked about, he's having to get this ball around the defender. Okay, so right there it's away, so you sink in, and right, you're not going to get to this ball. But how much organization was done during this time? I don't know. That's the question. So now it's just about individual defending here, winning our battles. We get caught the wrong side with this player being here. He could press from this side. He could press from this side, right? We allow this ball in. We could step. A lot of things happen here. Bad defending. Ball sneaks through. You can't see because we haven't organized this player, and he's just gets caught standing. And it's a good strike into the back of the net. He's not doing anything. Okay, so I think it's easy to get caught up in watching what's going on, but we have to be a little bit more proactive as we watch it back, organizing. Okay, so this player is just going to get caught standing, coming in here screening you for no reason, right? Get him stepped up. Immediately, let's get pressure on this ball. There's no reason to be 1v1 right here, because if he takes a touch to this side, he still has to cover a lot of ground. All right, so the ball just pops up. Now he's just in the way, right? Move him.